Whether you're planning on going to college or not, there's something that school can teach you, or rather, something that you can get from your experiences at school. Education is going beyond just a diploma or whatever school literally teaches you. There are lessons to be learned in school that I believe aspiring entrepreneurs should learn from school, and today I'm going to tell you about them. If you don't know me already, I'm Coach Kamal, and sorry, I'm a sophomore, well, junior in high school now. Most of my audience is close to my age, and on social media today, school is demonized and belittled. But I don't believe this to be necessary. School has hidden benefits that, with the knowledge I will impart on you today, will improve every aspect of your life, including business, personal relationships, and health, mental health as well, just as it did for me. So, so if you're in high school or middle school or whatever, school teaches you how to do things you don't want to do. Just for a second, think of your least favorite class. Your least favorite class. Just close your eyes and think about that for a second. For me, it is my Spanish class. My teacher is very strict, and it's the only class where I feel like I'm wasting my time in there, and I could be better spending it. But I don't want to be in that class. Regardless, I still do the assignments. Why? Because I want good grades, and with good grades, well, why? If you're in class and you do not do your work, you're missing out on some benefits. So here's what it is. The assignment itself may not add any value to your life directly, but completing it is like XP for leveling up your skill of being able to work on stuff you don't want to do. Because eventually you'll find work that you genuinely enjoy, and having the ability to focus on work that you don't like will make that much easier. Will make working that much easier. Working without distractions. I recently just took an ACT test, and I also just took my finals just a few days ago. And what I noticed was in all of those tests, regardless of what test I took, the ACT or my finals, regardless of what class I was in, there was people that really focused on the work, and I could tell that they got good grades because I asked them after. But also because I knew that they were the type of people to be focused, and and the other half of the class or whatever, the other minority, I guess, was just filling out the paper and leaving it there and going to sleep, putting their head down. But I don't really understand the logic behind that because you're in school anyways. You have to take the test. You have to be there for 8 hours. So what's the point of not doing anything? Like I took the ACT and we had to be there for 5 hours every day for 3 days. Yeah, about 5 hours, and people were there just to sleep. I guess there was literally zero purpose and intentions, beneficial intentions behind doing that. So I don't understand what's the point of not trying. Because if you work on tests, if you take a test and you do good, that proves that you know how to work without your phone, without a computer, without music, without anything, in complete silence. And if you take a timed 40-minute test, it shows yourself that you know how to work in 40-minute time frame, and you know how to sit down and just do your work and just finish it as quickly as possible, or as efficiently as possible is a better way to say it. So when you're in school, take tests seriously. Study for them. I'm not saying go study for 10 hours a day, but I'm saying if you get good grades on tests, you're more likely to be better. No, you are better at working without distractions. So train that ability. Number three, the biggest and most beneficial reason I think you should be entrepreneurs should be able entrepreneurs should be going to school is that you train the ability to socialize and create relationships. Being a loner brings absolutely zero benefits compared to being a sociable person. If you find a benefit of being a loner that being sociable does not have, you cannot get it from being sociable. I'll do like 100 push-ups or whatever. I'll do something, some form of punishment, because I truly believe that there is no benefit to being a loner. Now, I'm not saying you have to be extroverted and talk to everyone, but I'm saying you have to be able to speak to people and speak with strangers or a worker or your teachers or your classmates, because in an environment with people, and humans are sociable creatures. When you grow up, your ability to connect with others is truly the most important thing that school teaches you. I 100% believe that. And it is probably the most important thing that you can work on today. Not only do you get to make meaningful relationships, but you also get connections that will help you in the long run. In my classes, many of the guest speakers that come in are doctors. There was a lawyer. There was a FBI agent. Like really successful people satisfied with their careers, and they came from my school. So imagine what my classes with 1,000 students. If I get, let's say I get 10 meaningful friends that all go do something successful. That's 10 more than I would have not being sociable in school, not being a sociable person, not training the ability to be sociable. Maybe you might meet an astronaut or a lawyer who might help you in legal trouble in one of your classes, but you'll never know if you don't socialize, if you don't train this ability. So some entrepreneurs or people my age might say that time would be better spent just working on a business. Well, if you're in school for 8 hours, 9 hours a day, what's the point of not putting work into school? You're in there for 8 hours. You might as well take everything you can out of it. I'm not saying you have to you have to study for 15 hours a day, but there's benefits to succeeding in something you're forced to do. I know that many people don't want to be in school. Many would rather just quit and work or something, but if you're forced into an environment, you might as well make the most of it. That's what I believe. So if you listen to all of that and you said, okay, school seems like it could be important, but how do I do all this? Where do I get all the benefits from? How do I do this? So there are two things you need to do. Number one, maximize your grades. Do as much as possible during the school day and leave as little homework as possible. Eventually, you get to the point where you're doing less than 10 minutes of homework a day if you keep working at it. That's probably where I'm at right now, but maybe next year it'll change. I don't know. At first, you might struggle with this. You might be distracted in school. That's fine. But just do your work as soon as the teacher assigns it, and try to do work from other classes if you have free time, because the free time you have in school is not equal to the free time you have at home. Those two things are not equal at all. Free time at home is 100 times more valuable. So take advantage of that. 1.5, I guess. Read as much as possible, and if your school has a library, take advantage of it. My school has a library and I love it, and it has an online library, which is really good because I can just use it now. I'm not in school anymore. I can use it still. It has thousands of books that you can just read for free. I don't really know much about college, but if you're just graduating 8th grade, I'm going to make a video about that soon, by the way. And going to high school, I can tell you that probably the biggest difference was that teachers won't care if you do your work or not. That they don't care if you submit an assignment or not. They won't go after you and be like, oh, you didn't submit an assignment. You need to submit this. You're missing this. They won't care if you do your work. So just do the work and work on it. And number two, so 1.52, is to talk to people in your classes. At least the people you sit next to. If you're sitting at a desk or a table or a group, just sit with the people around you. Connect with them. Let's say there's 3 people around you. Just talk to them, get their names, their interests, their hobbies, something about them. Don't be a stranger to people because you'll regret it in the future. Alright, so let's say you listen to me like, alright, I'm going to do this tomorrow. As soon as school starts tomorrow morning, I'm going to try this. Well, you get better quality work on the business that you're passionate about. So for me, I guess it would be YouTube. And if I didn't train my ability to work in school and my ability to write and reading comprehension and researching, I probably wouldn't be, especially speaking too, I probably wouldn't be as good as I am right now speaking to a camera without really stuttering a lot or using verbal filler like uhs and likes and that sort of thing. But the biggest benefit I got from focusing in school was stress about my grades from my parents or my mom decreased a lot, and that takes a lot of pressure off of you. So if your parents are really nitpicky about grades and that type of stuff, just doing your work in school will get you a B, at least. There's no possible way you're doing your work in school, submitting it on time, and you're not getting a B. Maybe your parents might be a little bit more strict than that, but If you do your work in class, I guarantee you'll get a B because you'll know the material for the test, you'll know the material for a project or whatever at home assignment, and you could be able to finish it quickly. So just do your work in class and pay attention in class, and the stress from your parents will decrease a lot, and the pressure will decrease. So just do that.